Hello, my powerful and extraordinary Stoic friends. Welcome back to Powerful Stoic Habits. You've been the center of attention for someone. Everything was going well. Every look and every word made you feel special. Then suddenly, they disappear, distance themselves, and ignore you as if you never existed. You wonder what went wrong, and in that moment, insecurity arises, causing questions to swirl in your mind. What did I do wrong? And why are things like this? This has probably happened to all of us. Yes, it happens all the time, and you are not alone in feeling that way. But instead of letting yourself fall into a spiral of self-blame, today I want to invite you to try a completely different approach. Instead of trying to get their attention and holding them back with uncertain efforts, we will return to ourselves, regain our inner strength, and develop our best selves. When you concentrate on enhancing yourself, the environment around you begins to transform. Let's start with a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." This quote reminds us that value and peace come from within, from how we see ourselves, not from the attention or recognition of others. When you hold someone in high regard, you unintentionally diminish your own worth. This only gives the impression to the other person that you are always available, always present, and easily accessible without any effort. But think about it. What would happen if you changed your tactics? Instead of focusing all your attention on that person, turn it back to yourself. Let them feel the void when you step back. Your absence will become a big question mark in their mind, making them wonder why you are no longer there. They'll wonder what happened to the person they thought would always be there when you stopped chasing. By doing so, you will not only regain control of your emotions, but also create a natural attraction without words or ostentatious actions. Instead of sending more messages or trying to appear in front of them to remind them of your presence, pause. Ask yourself, who are you doing this for? What are you trying to prove? When you start to realize your worth, your energy will change. When you stop trying so hard, the other person will start to notice, and you yourself will find yourself getting stronger every day. This is the time to stand up and not beg for anyone's attention. And from there, I'm going to share with you 7 Stoic-inspired steps that will not only help you regain your confidence, but also make you naturally attractive. Remember, you are not someone who is chasing after someone. You are someone who is desirable. Stop shrinking and prepare for a journey of self-improvement. This will not only change the way others see you, but also help you realize your own power. Now, I have a little challenge for you, an indispensable affirmation that I want you to write right away in the comment section below. I am irresistibly attractive. It may sound simple, but the power is really in the words. These words are the key to unlocking the door you are looking for. It's not just about writing them down. It's about believing and owning that energy. So write them down, declare them, and start believing in yourself. You don't need a pen or paper. Just write it down here, just once, as an affirmation. Trust me, this is not a small gesture, but a powerful one. You have to truly believe this. I am irresistibly attractive. As the ancient sage said, determine who you will become before you act. This is where it all begins. Not waiting for others to recognize your worth, but affirming it yourself. In the comments, write it in big letters to show your commitment to this change. This is the time to not only say it, but believe it. I am irresistibly attractive. Now let's start your real journey. The first step is to bury your despair. When someone distances or ignores you, don't let yourself feel disappointed. It's not just about staying grounded, it's about taking back control of yourself. Sound gloomy? It's not. Trust me. This is the first step to becoming the strongest version of yourself. You know, I get it. When someone you care about is drifting away, our human instinct is to panic. It feels like everything is slipping away. But this is where we need to remember what Stoicism teaches. Not to change the world around us, but to control our own reactions. Let's start with a simple truth. The moment you let despair show, you give up all your power. When someone ignores you, they perceive themselves as in control. And by panicking, you are actually giving them control of your emotions without even realizing it. Marcus Aurelius once said that the happiness of life depends on the quality of your thoughts. So why let despair turn you into a person who chases fear? Think about this. You text someone, maybe a new acquaintance, maybe an ex, and then suddenly, they don't respond. You start to feel your heart sink. Your thoughts are racing. Did I do something wrong? Should I text again? That's where it all begins, my friend. Despair slowly takes over, and suddenly you find yourself checking your phone constantly while waiting for a message from them. But here's the thing. Desperation isn't smart. The more desperate you appear, the more they'll want to distance themselves. They can sense that energy from afar. So instead of giving in to that feeling, bury your despair. Burying it doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means owning them. Yes, it's okay to feel sad, upset, or hurt when someone pulls away. That's perfectly normal. But Stoicism teaches us that while emotions are natural, reactions are something we can control. When you find yourself starting to worry, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am irresistibly attractive. This affirmation may sound simple, but it is incredibly powerful. You don't have to beg for anyone's attention because you know your worth. You don't need to pursue those who don't value you. And if you're thinking, but how do I stop feeling desperate? Rest assured, you don't have to stop feeling desperate, just stop showing it. The first step is to control your actions, even when your emotions are in turmoil. Stop texting them more. Stop checking their social media, and stop replaying every conversation in your head. As Seneca said, it is not the man who has less that is poor, but the man who desires too much. By craving their attention, you make yourself emotionally poor. But you are empowered to change that. Think of desperation as an overzealous salesperson at the mall, the kind that chases you around, urging you to try their product and saying you need one chance to see how great it is. What do? Run, right? When you relentlessly pursue someone, you take on the role of a salesperson, and their goal is to flee as quickly as possible. So how can you apply this step to your life? Start with small actions. The next time you feel the urge to text them or check their profile, stop and remind yourself, I am in control. Their reaction doesn't determine your worth. The less you react, the stronger you are. This isn't about playing around or being unapproachable. It's about protecting your own peace. And if you find it difficult, don't worry, that's okay. Growth is a journey, and Stoicism is about progress, not perfection. Give yourself space to feel without acting on your emotions. You can try journaling or talking to a close friend, but most importantly, stay focused on you. Every time you hold back your reactions, you build emotional strength and prove that you're worthy, whether they realize it or not. End with a reminder from Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it. This is your chance to show that you control your emotions, values, and life, regardless of others. You are not hopeless, you are desirable. Remind yourself of that and believe in your own power. Comment below, I am irresistible, and share your thoughts. If you have questions, insights, or stories, leave a comment. Let's find the path that's right for you. Your journey is unique, and we're all in this together. Keep moving forward. The second step is disappearing in silence. It sounds easy, but it is an art, and you are probably thinking, isn't silence a passive response? Will they forget about me? But let me tell you, when done right, silence is more powerful than you think, and that is why we are here. I comprehend the anxiety associated with forgetting. No one wants to be forgotten, but ask yourself this, are you willing to lose yourself just because you're obsessed with someone? Is it worth sacrificing your peace and your values just to maintain a relationship with someone who doesn't even care about you right now? Remember that silence is not a sign of weakness. Silence is about strength. When you are silent, you are not retreating, you are moving forward. You create a void that makes the other person feel the absence of your energy. That's a message that carries more power than mere words. When you're silent, you make them wonder, why aren't they chasing me? Am I underestimating them? Silence doesn't make you disappear, it amplifies your presence. And if you keep chasing, you just fade into the background, becoming nothing more than white noise. Should you persist in pleading for their attention, or should you retreat and allow them to mourn your absence? Imagine you stop texting, stop calling, and stop responding. Suddenly, they glance at their phone and notice you're no longer in their call or message list. Trust me, the moment you disappear, they'll wonder, wait, what's going on? They'll question whether they've done something wrong, Or even worse, if you found someone else. That's the power of silence. It forces them to fill the void with their own thoughts and insecurities. And think about it. Why are you so worried about whether they'll miss you? Why not use that attention to remember yourself? You're the one who adds value, energy, to their lives. If they choose to leave, it's their loss, not yours. You're not the one sitting around waiting for a few extra bits of attention. You're the one who makes others pay attention simply by existing in your power. Silence acknowledges your absence and allows you to reflect and grow. Rather than expending energy clinging to an absentee, you reconnect with your essence, your purpose, and your power. The reality is that disappearing in silence isn't easy. You'll feel uncomfortable, tempted to send another message to clarify or attempt to make things right. But here's the truth. They already know your worth. You don't need to explain. Your silence isn't to punish them. It's to protect your own peace. You deserve someone who sees your worth without you having to remind them. Silence isn't just for them to miss you. It's for you to rediscover your own power. When you stop talking, stop explaining, and stop chasing, you reclaim your energy. And believe me, that energy has a powerful magnetic pull. They won't forget you. The absence of you will haunt them. Don't settle for crumbs. You deserve the whole party. So how do you do it? The next time you feel the urge to text or check their profile, stop. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, does this make me feel more valuable, or am I just clinging to someone who doesn't see my worth? Every time you resist that urge, you remind yourself that you are excellent enough, with or without their attention. While silence may be uncomfortable, it will reveal your true strength, resilience, and worth. And remember the words of Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it. This is when you choose to respond with strength, not panic. Let them feel the loss of you when you leave. You are not broken, you are desirable. You are not chasing, you are standing in your power. And if you're ready, write in the comments, I am irresistible, to show that you believe it. When you disappear into silence, you let them see your strength in the clearest way. Now that you have asserted your inner strength, we are entering the third step, forging your inner weapons. Sounds strange, right? Inner weapons are not intended to cause harm to others, but rather to safeguard yourself. This is the process of building up the strength, resilience, and self-esteem to overcome whatever happens in this relationship and other challenges in life. Consider it as a way to strengthen yourself, not to exact revenge or engage in emotional manipulation, but to make sure your heart and mind are independent of anyone's attention or attitude. You understand that when someone withdraws from you, it's no longer solely their issue. This is your time to act, to grow, and to use that distance to strengthen yourself. Every time you allow your mind to obsess over someone, you are giving them power that you should keep to yourself. Imagine that you have invested excessive energy, affection, and attention in them, and now they are distant, unresponsive. What would be the natural reaction? Panic, sadness, and despair. But no, this is the moment you choose to do something else. Turn your energy inward and build your own power. That is the real victory, not by talking or showing off, but by forging from within. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not over external events. Understand this, and you will find power. You cannot control what they do, but you can control how you react. And your reaction is to become strong, steadfast, and invincible in spirit. Forging your inner weapons doesn't mean loving them less. It means loving yourself more. You're not waiting for their attention anymore. You're preparing yourself to thrive, with or without them. Invest in yourself to become more resilient to rejection, immune to indifference, and confident that no one can defeat you when they're gone. Elevate your mind, body, and soul. They will feel the difference as you shift all your attention from them to yourself, and it will rub off on them, making them realize the difference when they're no longer the center of your world. Once they do, you'll be too focused on yourself to care. I'll be honest with you. Cultivating this strength isn't easy. It takes discipline, focus, and the ability to put yourself above your momentary feelings. But think about it. You deserve it. You deserve to be so safe and secure in your own worth that no one can shake you. You are not the one who will crumble when they leave. When they leave, You are the one who rises and grows stronger. If you think, but this is too hard, I love them, I don't want to lose them, remember that you will not lose anyone if you focus on yourself. On the contrary, you will only gain. Whether they come back or not, what you will find is a new version of yourself, strong and untouchable. Start with small actions, a new habit, a workout, a skill you have wanted to learn. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not people who drain you. Step by step, you pour energy into yourself, becoming the unstoppable version. The next time you find yourself tempted to read their messages, ask yourself, what am I doing today to make myself stronger tomorrow? That's how you sharpen your inner weapons. Seneca once said that it's not how long life lasts, but how beneficial it is that matters. Invest in your life, not others' fleeting attention. When you build your inner strength, their silence will become meaningless. The moment you realize how strong you really are, they will feel it too. When that happens, you decide if they're worth your time. When you sharpen your inner strength, you not only become more attractive, but you also have a new energy, a new mindset. You no longer wait for their attention. You are too busy growing yourself. That is true strength. It's time to reiterate this statement, guys. I am irresistibly attractive. Write it down and say it out loud. Whenever you're struggling, repeat it. When you forge this inner weapon, you'll not only overcome it, but you'll emerge stronger, more confident, and totally sexy. Step 4. Calling on the power of mystery. Let's dive in, folks. The power of mystery really does change everything. I understand that you may be wondering, why maintain a mystery? That'll just drive them further away, right? But let me tell you, maintaining mystery is one of your most powerful tools when someone begins to ignore or distance themselves from you. Naturally, you want to explain, clarify, or make things right, but being predictable makes you more likely to be overlooked. It's a strange phenomenon in psychology that people find attraction in things they don't fully understand. When you reveal everything, there's no room for curiosity. But when you hold something back, you become a mystery that they can't easily decipher, making them want to know more. Imagine that you begin to refrain from sharing all your feelings and activities. You stop updating your life constantly. You no longer report in detail what you think and feel. Instead of reacting to their silence, you keep a distance. This will make them wonder, why aren't they reacting? What's going on in their world that I don't know about? It's that distance that creates curiosity, something that doesn't require any explanation from you, but draws them back. Imagine you used to keep them updated on every little detail of your life. Suddenly, one day, you begin to distance yourself a bit. You remain present, but you are no longer easily accessible. You stop posting everything on social media. You don't respond immediately. You create a gap between what they know about you and what they don't know. And that gap is where curiosity begins to grow. They'll think more about you, not because you're intentionally pushing it, but because they're naturally drawn to something they can't fully grasp. This mystery is like an invitation without clear directions. You invite them to learn about you, but you don't give them a map. Let them figure it out for themselves. Let them do the work. Let them think. When they have to do the work, they'll begin to appreciate your attention more, because they realize that you're not predictable or controllable. It's part of respecting yourself and holding your own value. Remember Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it. In this situation, your response should remain mysterious. Don't react the way they expect. Don't let them know what's on your mind. Instead, let your actions, or sometimes your silence, speak for themselves. Let them wonder, ask questions. The important thing to remember is that being mysterious isn't about playing games. It's about nurturing a sense of curiosity by not revealing everything. It's about acknowledging your value and allowing others to approach you, as it's the mystery that draws them in. When you summon the power of mystery, you become naturally irresistibly attractive. So here's the affirmation for this step. I am attractive. Say it, believe it, and see how the dynamic begins to change when you keep a little mystery to yourself. Now, let's move on to step 5. Put on your emotional armor. Sounds strange, right? You might be wondering, what is emotional armor? You build this mental defense around your emotions to protect yourself from the actions or indifference of others. When someone becomes distant, our natural instinct is to let the pain of their indifference hurt us. But let's be realistic. If you let their every action affect your mood and self-worth, you're giving them control over your life. This must cease immediately. Emotional armor helps you avoid unnecessary hurt. It doesn't mean you stop caring, but you don't let their behavior determine your worth or happiness. When they say no, you don't feel rejected. You stand firm in your confidence, knowing that their actions don't define you. When they ignore you, you choose to maintain your peace of mind, rather than allowing their coldness to shake you. Imagine a scenario where they cease replying to your texts or calls. Previously, you might have experienced a squeezing sensation in your heart, questioning your own actions and wondering what went wrong. But now, with your emotional shield in place, their silence no longer hurts you. You know that their not responding doesn't diminish you. You are whole, strong, and confident in yourself. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not over events." Realize this, and you will find power. That is the spirit of emotional armor. You control how much emotional energy you put out, and instead of continuing to invest it in a situation you can't control, you redirect that energy toward yourself. You put on your emotional armor to protect your peace and self-worth without waiting for anyone else to validate or affirm it. When you have your emotional armor, you become incredibly attractive. People gravitate towards individuals who maintain emotional stability and don't react to minor events. You radiate confidence and self-possession, making them wonder, "Why aren't you running after me? Why aren't you swayed?" And that's when the tables turn. Now they're the ones feeling unsettled, wondering why you're not vulnerable to their indifference. Embrace your emotional armor, and you'll find your life changes dramatically. You no longer need validation from others. You stand on your own power. Instead of being cold or distant, learn to be strong and steady. Here's the affirmation for this particular step. I am the center of strength. Say it and feel it. When you wear your emotional armor, no one can weaken you. You control your emotions, and that makes you unstoppable. Step 6. Flip the script without words. You demonstrate your power through silent actions here. You may be wondering, how can I change things without saying a word? Let me tell you, sometimes actions speak louder than words, and silence, when coupled with strategic moves, can completely turn the tables in your favor. This is how you show them that the game has changed without having to explain or justify. When someone pulls away, the first instinct is usually to chase after them, find out why, or try to clarify your feelings. But now, you're going to take a completely different approach. Stay silent and let your actions speak. This is how you convey that you've withdrawn the emotional ease they've become accustomed to. You've taken back your power, and they'll feel it without you saying a word. Imagine this. They've been ignoring you, ignoring your messages, even leaving you hanging. When they assumed you were going to persist in your pursuit, you abruptly stopped. You did not respond, nor did you attempt to persuade them. Instead, you focused on your life, investing in your personal growth and happiness. You slowly disappeared into your own world, and suddenly they sensed the change. They'd wonder, why aren't they chasing me? Why aren't they trying to explain things? Your silence turned the tables. You ceased adhering to their regulations and withdrew your emotional energy, thereby asserting your control. And here's the best part. You didn't have to say a word to prove it. Your silence and self-absorption will convey a powerful message. They will notice the change, and it will seep into their thinking. Instead of you questioning yourself, it will be their turn to do so. Remember the Stoic principle. Don't waste your time arguing about what a good person should be. That means you don't need to explain or prove your worth. Instead, let your actions reflect your maturity and strength. When they realize their aloofness no longer affects you, it will prompt them to reflect. The less you talk, the more they think. Stopping emotional battles forces them to confront their own behavior. This is where the real magic happens. They will wonder if they made a mistake, if they underestimated you, and if you have moved on without them. Flipping the script without saying a word is letting them feel your power. allowing them to understand that their silence does not diminish your strength, but rather enhances your strength, focus, and complete control over your life, is empowering. And here's the affirmation for this step. I am in control of myself. Declare with confidence that you are in control of your emotions, your energy, and your life. You don't have to chase. You don't have to explain. You are in complete control. Now let them pursue their own illusions while you proceed forward. Finally, we come to the most powerful step. Let them chase the shadows. This step involves not only establishing a barrier, but also fundamentally altering the situation to such an extent that they are compelled to pursue you, seeking to understand the circumstances. Trust me, if you execute this step correctly, they will find themselves pursuing you without understanding why. You may be wondering, what does chasing the shadows mean? This occurs when you cease to be predictable, available, and accessible. Instead, you become an enigma, a fleeting shadow that they can't quite grasp. They thought they had you under control, but now you are no longer emotionally accessible. You're no longer waiting for their text or trying to grab their attention. Now, you let them figure you out. Imagine this. They ignore your messages and keep you waiting, thinking you will always be there for them. But this time, you don't chase. You don't react. You disappear into your life, focusing on your personal growth, your happiness, and your success. They will feel the change. Suddenly, they wonder, why aren't they chasing me anymore? Why aren't they trying to explain? That's your power. You have changed the script by simply withdrawing your energy. Through your silence and actions, you show them that you have left the game they thought they could control. And the wonderful thing is, you don't have to say a word. They will clearly feel the change and start questioning themselves, trying to regain what they once held. You didn't disappear to punish them, but to reclaim your own power. You show them that your life doesn't stop because of their rejection. Instead, you keep moving forward, leaving behind traces. Maybe a photo of you traveling, a new accomplishment, or a fun moment with friends. They will see you living your best life and slowly realize that you've moved on and left them behind. They will realize that you're no longer standing still, so they can easily come back. The point is, you didn't disappear because you wanted them to suffer. You disappeared to affirm that your life has value and is not dependent on someone else's presence. You've let go of the old you, the one who craved their attention. The new version of you is strong, independent, and unstoppable. This will prompt them to reflect deeply. They will feel your absence, and it will haunt them. They'll chase your shadow to hang on to something they can't. While they are chasing, you are living your life, strong and radiant. Let them feel that they once had something precious but lost it because of their indifference. And here's the final affirmation. I am who I am. Say it with conviction and determination. When people realize you're desirable, you've gone further, become stronger, and are unattainable. We went through 7 steps to reclaim your power and worth. Remember that you are not just waiting for someone to come back. You are building yourself, becoming stronger, and becoming the kind of person who does not need to beg for attention. The real victory is that you've advanced, whether they realize it or not. So what's next? It's time to actually take action. Take these steps, feel your energy shift, and observe how people perceive you differently. The more you focus on yourself, the more attractive you become. You are the prize. Start living like it now. If this message resonates with you, stay tuned for more content on personal power and living on your own terms. And remember, you are irresistible.